It's quite a website when Civil War buffs get in the buff. www.gettysbear next on the Six Ad Cast. As I live and breathe, it is a Six Ad Cast for Thursday, April 30th, 2020. My name is Nick, and on my left I'm joined once again by my good friend Manuel.
Hey, what's up?
And on my right is my other half, Sarah.
Hey.
Accompanied really closely by Kitty.
Good timing, honey.
Is this going to be a time when she finally talks? Nope, she goes away. Okay, fine.
I wonder how many intros were kind of like diverted a little bit because of the cat. Like to the cat.
A lot. We talk about these cats all the time. She has her moments when she genuinely shows me love. Sarah has this belief that her cat might have been abused by men, which may be why she's... But then this cat goes and does stuff to me, like at night, where she really loves me. Mm-hmm. And then during the day, both cats want nothing to do with me. All right, well, how have y'all been in the week that we've been gone?
I feel like so much happens, and then sometimes... Oh, I listen to the podcast because it's always a mystery what you're going to keep in and keep out.
Uh-huh.
And so... as I'm listening to it, I'm always like, oh, I should correct that, or oh, I should clarify that. And then obviously everybody who listens to it sends me notes or like, hey, this was funny or whatever. But I never write it down. And then here we come and you say, hey, how's it going? And I'm like, great.
Not great because I couldn't keep up.
You always have a notepad with you.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I know that I'm just like, oh, that's a quick thing. I won't forget that. Like, oh, there's a few things I did right, though. Like notes for the show, I never do that. I did it this time because I was... Anyway.
Okay, yeah, we'll get into what you took notes on. But all in all, everything okay at home? It's not haunted, nothing creepy?
No, thank God, no.
What a bummer. Okay.
No.
No, it should be good that there's no crying babies in the hallway in the middle of the night, being heard by only two members of the family. Sarah, how have you been in the week that we've been gone?
I've been fine. Working and staying home. The normal quarantine stuff now.
Yeah. And I feel like when things were normal, we had a lot more stuff to talk about. And it's like, hey, what have you been doing? I've been cooped up inside with you this whole time. What a weird question to ask me.
Yeah.
He's like, what I do? You know what I do. You've been watching a lot of 6 Feet Under.
Oh, yeah. And we're almost done with Community. We started season 6 today.
It's probably going to hurt when that show's over because I really like it. But season 5 and 6 are different than the first 4.
Of course.
And we noticed that in this final season, it definitely looks like they had the most money. And you could just tell the way the picture looks. It looks cleaner and nicer. Mm-hmm. And it feels like, well, obviously, we know that this is the last season. But like, there's a character in the show that feels like he knows it's also the last season because he's one of those fourth wall kind of characters.
Oh.
So the way he's talking, it's like, oh, I feel like the writers are telling us that they know this is the end.
Finally. Because the final episode of season 5 felt like it was supposed to be the end, and then they got season 6.
Yeah.
Arrested Development did that in their 3rd season back in 2003 when they were going to be canceled. Yeah, because they didn't finish. Mm-hmm. And Burger King was sponsoring them. And so they were like, the narrator, you know how he talks. I don't know if you've seen the show, Sarah. Have you?
Yeah, I know there's an overvoice narrator.
Ron Howard. Yeah, he's doing.
Is that who that is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he's doing the thing for Burger King. It's not like an ad, but they're eating at Burger King, and then among their dialogue, he's like, you can get a soda or a soft drink here for only $1.50, and then he's like, yeah, Burger King's great, and then they start talking about something else, but they're still sitting at BurgerKing, and then later, like it's like the scene's almost over, and then like the narrator goes, seriously, folks, tell people about Burger King. It's great. It's like a long pause and then moves to the next scene.
We've been seeing a lot of Subway in Community.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was a while back, there was like 1 or 2 episodes that centered around Subway occupying a booth in their cafeteria. And then for the finale of the last season, Subway was trying to like buy the school. And like it was everywhere. Like their logo was everywhere.
Well, Subway at one point was everywhere. Remember when Subway was really popular?
It even had the original sponsor
in
the show too. And it's like,
guy.
He's in prison.
What was his name? Jeffrey?
Is he actually in prison now?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Child pornography.
That's what it was.
I know what it was for because now Subway is not. But like that's at that point. I guess the high point where Subway was really popular.
Yeah.
And now people still eat there, but nobody is proud of eating there.
I don't have a problem with it. She
I do
hates it.
now,
Yeah.
and it's never gotten me sick. It just made me feel uneasy.
It made you feel dirty.
It made me feel gross. Yeah.
Because of what he was doing.
No,
No.
the actual meat.
Just the food.
Yeah, the meat.
You felt like a dirty little girl
Like those
having your $5
grilled
foot
chicken
long.
breasts.
Hey, those are good.
Those fake imprinted grilled marks on it. It's just frozen chicken mush together.
It's not mush.
It's an
molded
unbreaded
together.
It's an unbreaded chicken nugget with the grill prints on it.
Okay, that's a fair description of it. It is still yummy, but my expectations are very low.
I enjoy it, but I don't. What do you get?
I'm a simple guy. I either get I don't remember what it was called. I get the meatball one. I did get a chicken breast one with some sort of chipotle sauce on it, and then there was one.
Teriyaki, maybe.
No. I did have that one. That was glorious. I don't indulge because I'm also like frugal, which is a kind way of saying cheap.
So you'd get the ham. Yeah,
I
I'll
know
have
the turkey.
It was
one
basically-
turkey. Yeah, one meat.
I used to get a turkey, but I had gotten, I don't know, I guess it's like a club sandwich. It had some sort of bologna and like one or two other meats. It had turkey with it, but I can't remember what it was called. A combination, maybe. But I can't remember. It's been so long.
I get the spicy Italian. That has 3 meats.
Yeah. Oh, I had a guy that I used to work with that used to get that. It was basically like a pizza. Or maybe
Yeah,
he would just,
pepperoni,
Pepperoni,
and
salami, and something else.
yeah. But he would load it with like the marinara sauce, and I was like, "You're basically eating a pizza."
Oh,
As a
I should do that. No, I just like no, just put
They
some
have the
mayo.
flatbread now.
Oh yeah, they did. That's when they became douches, and that's around the time that I stopped eating them.
They are giving America what America wants.
Dude, we are all about their cookies.
Their
Yeah.
cookies are incredible.
If America doesn't want it, they don't give it to us.
What were we doing? We were, I guess, cruising around Alvin, and we went by the one here on Main Street, that little dumpy one.
Yeah.
And we asked for some cookies, and the person at the window was like, you could just hear them rolling their eyes through the intercom.
Wow.
Like they
It
were.
was just that day, because then a couple days later, because Nick ate the last cookie.
Honest to God, I thought they had given us an extra cookie because I could have sworn I saw her eat her 3 and I had my 3. And then magically the next day I was like, oh, there's another cookie here. I ate it and she was like, I only had 2. And I was like, oh, I am so sorry.
So the next day I went, and the guy was much nicer.
But see,
and
it was
then
a guy.
Sure. But he said they used to have a guy go there and order 36 cookies.
so do you wait for them to bake them? I guess because there's
Dude, I don't know.
you don't have 36 ready to go.
Like he would order 36.
It depends on what time of day you went. But I asked the guy, I said, hey, can I have a dozen cookies? And he says, I only have 9. And I said, that's fine. I'll take whatever you got.
Give them all to me.
Yeah. And then
Certainly.
because of course I asked for chocolate chip, which is everyone's favorite.
Yeah.
So then he said, oh, they had some extras, or they had them in a different drawer because they had them sectioned.
yeah.
He says, so you get your dozen. I'm like, okay, good. I'll pay it.
How much is a dozen? I didn't even know that.
$7.
Okay.
Oh,
No, they're
so
no,
good.
no, not are they worth it? Is that cheap? Like in cookie measures? I don't know.
I think it's the same at the grocery store.
That's what I was gonna say. So at the grocery store, if I walk in and get one of those from the bakery, you know.
Oh, okay. See, I was kind of gauging it like Oreos, and it's like what, $3.50 for Oreos?
No, those are different. Those are I think cheaper than it would be cheaper than $7, and you get a bunch of them. But,
Yeah.
but those are different. Those aren't freshly cooked or whatever. Who knows when they were made?
They were probably processed like 7 months before,
Yeah.
and they don't
Friday.
and they don't go bad in that airtight seal. Does that show how good the seal is, or what they're made out of?
What they're made out
You're
of.
putting that in your body, America. Hashtag stay woke. Hey, I'm just
the
saying.
silence. It's like,
I'm just saying, if you take like a
Stay woke is very relevant for this podcast.
yeah, when this episode goes up, it'll be April 30th, which means that on the 1st, places in Texas start to open up gradually as we try to recover from this coronavirus pandemic. And I don't know, man. I really feel like it's a bit too early.
It's far too soon.
I do think it's too soon to let it expire.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think they're saying it with an advisory. Remember 2 weeks ago, I was like, it's quiet. Too quiet, you know? Be careful. It's a trap. They stopped updating us the way that they were. The level of alert wasn't there anymore. And I was like, we're like at a peak, but they're not saying it because then we'll fuck it up. Then they'll be like, okay, guys, I guess it looks like we're finally starting, you know? And then everybody's like, okay, party at my house tomorrow, you know? And so I think that's why they didn't say anything. And now they're like, okay, we'll slowly let them start opening with an advisory of if you don't feel comfortable, don't. But by law, you no longer have to close, because the Vietnamese people, they need to do nails, bro. People need to get, everything.
I've been having to do my own pedicures.
Yeah, pedicures, massages, hair, all of it.
People
Well,
have been
massage
having
can't open yet.
people have been having to do their own
Even
tattoos
in
at
May.
home.
Maybe mid-May, maybe.
Why not like May 1st?
No, not May 1st. Salons, barbershops, massage places, and I think gyms still cannot open on May 1st.
What about bars? Do we know?
Well, I mean, it's a part of restaurants, so yeah,
So then, yeah.
I think so.
So restaurants can.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be up to the restaurant if they want to.
Why I think restaurants are just as not dirty, but just as social as, even if not more social than a pedicure place.
They're going to limit the people that come in. So it's
Yeah.
just like how the grocery stores, quote, air quotes, did it.
The ones
Our
that
Walmart
did.
never did it.
Yeah, I would imagine at certain restaurants they would either remove tables and they're not going to push tables together, and they're only going to allow. They're going to be like, hey, we've only got like 25 people in here. Usually we can seat 60.
How would Luby's do it then?
Yeah, it's a cafeteria.
Crap. Maybe just not open.
Yeah.
They
They may
there's-
still have to do dinner delivery or
Yeah.
dinner takeout at 3.
Dude,
But-
Luby's is amazing.
But just like
yeah.
Luby's, I feel like a lot of restaurants kind of follow the same thing. Like if I go to Genghis Grill, I'm still getting a plate and getting in line.
You know damn well they don't clean those trays very well.
Not well.
They just give it.
And I worked at a restaurant. I remember how I cleaned the Gringos menus, okay? I did it very half-assed. Just
And
to
you were
get...
rolling your eyes the whole time.
Ugh, I hated it.
It's like, Sarah, do you want to use the wet towel? No, I shook it.
I think that's what most do.
Oh, Sarah.
I did it?
What most do, not what she did.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. All right.
But I wouldn't open them up and go on each side. Sometimes I just squeeze in between when it's a busy night, just like, get it out. Gross.
Welcome to Papa Seafood.
And you're dealing with
Because,
secret.
my God, why do they... I'm sorry, I'm going on a tangent.
Okay,
But how
yeah.
do you get fucking queso dip on the menu? And then what... Okay, the crumbs and stuff I get. Chip residue. Why do they let their kids color on the fucking menus? On the adult menus. We had crayon marks all over it.
On the over casing plastic?
Yes! You
Okay,
fucktard parents back in the day.
I think this, we need to blame the restaurants for this because they started this trend. No one said give the kid crayons during dinner.
Yeah.
No one said that.
Well,
But
I think they had to do it because there was no such thing as, a phone that you could watch videos or an iPad.
What about parenting?
Nowadays, you give it to the child because they will go crazy.
What I liked at a certain
I
restaurant...
wish to.
I don't.
No, we needed a board, like a very tiny table game. When we would go to Schlitterbahn every year, we stop at our usual restaurant, and it was like a cute little convenience store, like a corner stop, but then in the back was a restaurant.
Okay.
On the table, they had the little triangle game with the pegs or something. I forget how to play it now, but I always look forward to playing that game. Why can't restaurants just have a game like that?
Yeah, you take out the little thing,
Yeah.
little hole, and keep eating. I
Yeah.
guess, yeah. Those are fun. They have those at Cracker Barrel still.
I have no idea what game you're talking
It's like a little triangle with little sticks sticking out. I don't know what the name of it is, but you just take one out, and then you have to kind of keep moving to the next nearest open spot until there's only one left. But most of the time, you suck, and there's 4 or 5 left.
Yeah.
Right. So it's
Oh.
a puzzle.
Oh, okay.
So whoever's done gets to put it back the way they want, then you have to figure it out.
Oh, okay.
Get rid of crayons.
What would you
Because-
say to a kid now if they misbehave? If you take them to a restaurant, if you were dad, what would you say to a kid to behave?
He'd probably join.
No,
No,
you'd have to be dad.
It depends what they're doing.
Okay.
Okay.
They just wrote on the laminated menu.
I'd be like, now Vin.
Vin?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Vin, I want you to look at me. No, look at me. Vinny, I need you to stop. Stop. God damn it. Okay, look, I'm sorry. That was a little bit much. No, please don't cry. Sarah, help me. Sarah, and then all of a sudden, like, the kid crying is gonna make me cry because I know that I could have taken a different route and I fucked up. And knowing that the fuck up was so small, but like this whole thing this house of cards is
It
coming
was
on
like
me.
an avalanche immediately.
You talk about like people have crashed and burned, and it took longer than what this took. Then I start crying because of my faults. And so now Sarah has to work with a table of a grown man and a child crying at the same time.
Sarah, what would you say to a kid?
I say y'all both need to go outside and clean yourselves up.
Oh,
Get your act together.
so you're just following Nick after that's like, okay, both of you get up and get out.
And the kid's like, yeah, thanks, but look what you did, Dad. And I'm
You
like,
guys
it's
are
your
both
fault.
talking to each other on the way out.
Yeah, we're talking shit the whole way out. And I'm like, look what you did. You pissed off Mother. And he's like, no, you did it like you always do because you're stupid.
You're supposed to be older.
And there you go. That's how me and Vinny are going to interact with each other and all that stuff.
That is not a name we picked.
And
Just want to clarify.
She is going to grow up. Vinny is
She.
Vin is
Oh
a
my
she.
Whoa!
We're not limited to
Vincenta is what her name is.
Chenta.
Oh, yeah. She's going to grow up hating me. She's going to get a tattoo when she's 14. You know, that sort of stuff. I hate you.
When parents get the I hate you, that's, it's normal, but that's a bit
I'm
much.
sure it still hurts, right?
Yeah.
That's a low ball. Yeah.
Unless it's just like,
I hate it here.
it's like, okay, then go upstairs to your Wi-Fi and iPad and I guess be alone
Oh, yeah.
in your sorrows.
In your hate.
Yeah, he's like, oh, you know what? If she's going to hate me, I'm going to give her a fucking reason to hate me. Sarah, give me the code to shut off the Wi-Fi in this whole goddamn house. Me and you, we're going old school. We're going to plug in an old game console or we're going to play a board game.
You could just
And
lock
they're
her
gonna
out
suffer.
from the Wi-Fi. You could still have the Wi-Fi.
Oh, okay. Well, then I wouldn't know how to do that. Sarah,
Yeah, him and I are the same. We probably just unplug the modem.
yeah, the whole
Dang,
thing.
no Wi-Fi for anybody.
Nope.
You'd be like, you unplugged the what? Yeah, you see this thing? Is that a Ouija board? No, it's a fucking board game.
She's already spinning it with two hands, looking at you.
Yeah, that's how that would go. Well, how did we get onto this?
I went on a tangent, sorry.
Oh, okay, because it was restaurants, because places are going to start opening. Okay, I wanted to ask you something about movie theaters. Okay, would you consider going to AMC or Cinemark in a limited capacity? Because they're not going to be able to sell whole auditoriums.
Give me a good movie and I'll go.
Okay, but all the good movies seem to have been postponed. So what are the theaters going to show anyway?
Well, remember the Russo brothers, I think, said that they wanted to put Infinity War and Endgame again on there. I
and
wouldn't
edit
go watch it.
And edit it as like a 5.5 hour movie and just put it out there?
I don't know. But yeah, both of them back to back.
Okay, because movie studios aren't going to go back on the reschedule that they've already done. They're not going to be like, oh, you guys are going to open? No, they're not going to do that because even if they sell out these auditoriums at a third of the population, any movie that gets released is losing so much money because they just don't have. They're at a severe disadvantage because a third of the people can see the movie because we have to stay separate from each other.
Yeah.
So would it be worth it for movie theaters to even open if studios aren't going to put movies out there?
If they're renting, yeah. But if they own the land, then no.
What?
Well, because then they still have bills. you
Well,
know?
yeah, but what would the theaters air? I mean, they could dip into like, hey, we're going to stream Jaws.
I'm
You
sure
want to come see
there's-
Ghostbusters on the big screen?
Harry Potter marathon.
Oh, dude, that'd be dope.
I'm sure they'll figure something out, bro. Like there's movies probably that don't even like Paramount and Universal did the whole video on demand. One, you pay once $19 or something. Remember that?
Yeah.
Then maybe there's some that are about to come out. And they're like, okay, these will be released like normal.
But do all movie studios have that luxury?
No.
Because you got to strike a deal with
No,
somebody to
no.
put the movie out there. Unless you do it all through YouTube. You could charge people through YouTube. But you got to strike a deal with YouTube.
Would it be the worst thing in the world to just put Onward back on and whatever?
Well, no. Because if you put Onward back in theaters, no one will see it because they'll just go watch it on Disney+.
Yeah, but you can come to the experience where moviegoers experience the difference. AMC.
Done by James Earl Jones, right?
No, I just did I don't know.
Oh, okay. All right.
That sounded like James.
To me, it did. What if
Oh.
you did Luke Bryan trying to ask people to go back out to the movies?
Man, you guys come on out to the movies and maybe we'll do a concert or I don't know. We'll figure it out.
I have always wanted you to do Luke Bryan on the show,
He's done Luke Bryan on the show.
but not like that. Okay, remember a couple of weeks ago when I asked you what it would be like for, was it Luke Bryan, Donald Trump, and that lady, coronavirus? What was her name?
Cardi B.
Cardi B.
I was like, it's not Nicki Minaj. That's who it was in my. Okay, what if they were all in the same room together? Do you remember that?
I do. The thing is, I don't do Donald that great, and
Well,
Cardi,
Nick can do.
yeah.
No, Sarah could do a good Donald.
She could do. She could
She
be Cardi.
she misinterprets which Donald, and she does a spot on Donald Duck.
Oh wow, wait, Sarah. Wait, what did you say? I'm asking Nick for a divorce. Oh, on the show.
It's like I couldn't. That went over my head with spit going literally all over the boards and microphones.
Yeah, there's a little bit of the suffering succotash on there.
No.
Oh, okay.
I like how Sarah was ready. She was like, "Do I need the Lysol? What happened while I was gone?"
I mean, we're careful, but we can't be. It's not. It's okay to, to worry about being too careful.
What I wanted to ask you guys is, okay, obviously Black Widow got pushed to November. Okay, if Disney had another movie out there, well, they did. They had Mulan and they had Black Widow on top of Frozen 2 and Onward. Okay, if they got desperate and
Hold on, one question really quick. Frozen 2 was unreleased. Nobody had seen that movie, right?
well, it had been in theaters for 2 weeks, and then that's
Oh.
when they shut it down. And then like 2 weeks later, when they knew that theaters were going to open, they just went ahead and put it on Disney Plus. Onward
Okay.
was not released.
Okay.
It was 100%
Brand
on
new
Disney
to
Plus.
everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's say in the fall we see another spike of coronavirus, okay? And Black Widow is set to release in November sometime, and movie theaters either open and then have to get shut down again. What is Disney? I'm just going to use Disney as a template. Like, what are they to do about Black Widow? If they just put it on Disney Plus, they would lose a whole mountain of money.
Just like they did with
But they have to
Frozen.
do something with it. Yeah, just like with Onward and Frozen too. They
But
lost
they're
a
not
lot
hurting
of
for
money.
money.
No, they're not. But
This
they-
is the incline. This is the
This is a
start.
Marvel movie.
This is the start of the
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to hurt them to put it on Disney Plus. But what if they decided we need to make some sort of money? Like if they put it on Disney Plus, and if you pay your $8, you get everything on Disney Plus. But for new movies, you have to pay an additional $10 to unlock it, and then it goes into circulation for your account.
Well, maybe Disney Plus is like, we now introduce Disney Plus Plus. And here you can get all the Marvel new movies, including the Loki thing that we said wasn't ready for a while, and Black Panther 2. Yep, it's done.
It's done. Haha.
Yeah.
It's on Disney Plus Plus. Gosh, that's right, Mickey.
Plus. He has to repeat it. Not plus. Plus.
For an additional $10, huh?
There you go. They just made the money.
That is true. Would people be okay with spending an additional $10? Because you've already set the precedent. You've put Onward out there basically for free. And if they chose to do that with another movie, people would love it. But obviously, they need to try to make money
No,
off of
they're
this
gonna
Marvel
finish-
thing.
No, that shit's gonna stop for sure. Like they will do the plus.
They would do that.
They might not call it that because they're not like a tutorial. We're like, just to make sure, this is Disney Plus and this is Disney Plus Plus. We're even changing the color. This background's blue. This black background is red. Like Netflix.
Oh yeah, just like Netflix. Okay, I just really wonder. Would you spend? I want to see the Black Widow movie. I'd be cool to spend the $10.
If they, but it would just be like, okay, so what's premium about Plus other
Yeah.
than Black Widow, which I kind of want to see, kind of don't.
It's kind of like YouTube Red. They had Cobra Kai going for them, so you just had to put fate into it. That it was a good thing to invest in.
Remember, they brought some of the YouTube creators, the popular ones, to be like, hey, you can see their content here too with special whatever. So that was
I didn't
a
know
draw.
that.
Yeah,
They were just on Cobra Kai.
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
at least I was.
No, they had a lot to draw, like the YouTube community there.
Yeah. Well, all right. Well, okay.
I'm sure Disney will figure it out. They're like, never before seen, whatever.
But do you know what? I think they went ahead and released Onward because it really wasn't going to make good money in theaters.
That I can for sure. That it blew my mind about Frozen 2, but I didn't know it was on at the movies for 2 weeks. That makes
So it
sense
made
that
their money.
it made something,
Yeah.
There's still going to be merch or whatever, but if it would have just been Frozen 2, just like Onward on never been seen on Disney, I don't know that they would have done that.
Man,
No,
Onward
not
really
Frozen
wasn't that
2.
great.
Yeah.
you didn't like it? I really enjoyed Onward, but there is a certain level of bias when it comes to Pixar. I really like Pixar. I don't.
Is it a bias or is it you would stand a lot? Because you did watch all the Leprechauns, all of them.
I mean, Pixar is known for making great movies.
Yeah.
I just don't think this was one of them.
To me, they're the standard bearer when it comes to CG animated movies, and I just feel that a lot of these other movie studios, there's always something to me that is negative about whatever movies they put out. Like the Minions are funny, but there's something about like I feel the Minions can only go so far, and I really don't think they can carry a 90-minute movie.
How far have they gone?
The Minions,
Three?
have they made 3 Minion movies? And then
think.
what? 3 Despicable Me's?
I know there's 3 Despicables.
Yeah, and then the Minions at least have 1 spin-off movie. Well, I think they have 2, maybe.
Oh man, if there are 3,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, and I liked the first Despicable Me, but I didn't like it. I didn't think it was consistently funny like a Pixar movie. And then I don't like Madagascar's. That's another big one that is really popular, and I've never liked.
But that's
that one.
DreamWorks, right?
Yeah. I mean, basically every movie studio has their own division of CG animation, and for me, I just think Pixar is the best.
So we still have the divisive between Pixar and Disney, even though it's the same.
Yeah, there is a Disney Animation Studios, and there is Pixar Animation.
Is that who made what has Disney made that's like animated?
They did Wreck-It Ralph and Frozen. Those were like their first 2 CG animated ones
Those are pretty
that
good.
were on the level of a Pixar movie.
But they made other ones that failed.
No, that was like they did Planes, but no one
No
talks
one
about
watched
Planes.
Planes.
Yeah, Pixar did not do Planes. Disney
They
did.
did Cars.
Yeah, they did They introduced the world, and then Disney picked up the property and made a spin-off.
Oh,
And it looked... It was like Lion King 1.5. It should not have happened.
DreamWorks will always have Shrek.
Okay, yeah. See, I didn't really...
Eesh.
You do not say it. They will hate you
I
if you
didn't-
say you didn't like Shrek.
Who's they?
The
Bring it.
listeners.
Look at it this way.
You
Okay.
didn't like it either?
No.
Okay.
Oh wow.
There are 2 CG animated franchises that I felt would have just been a gold mine had they been done by Pixar. Shrek and Hotel Transylvania are the 2 that I feel that if they were done by Pixar,
They deserve so much better.
They would have won Academy Awards.
Who did Hotel
DreamWorks
as well?
or I'm not sure, but it wasn't Pixar.
5 minutes into it, we had to stop it.
Yeah, we couldn't even. There was a Hotel Transylvania 3 trailer
Yeah.
that we were going to review on the show. We couldn't even finish the trailer,
Nope.
so I had to scrap it. And whatever episode that was a long time ago, and then
But those
replace
movies aren't geared for us. Those really are not. Yeah.
But the idea of Dracula opening a hotel and all the monsters come to him, like, doesn't it just feel like a gold mine? And then they go and they make 3 of these Hotel Transylvanias.
And the last one, they're on vacation
and
on a
they're just-
cruise.
They're just not good, man.
Are you kidding me?
Have you seen any of these movies?
No.
I had to sit through one years ago. My ex's daughter watched it, and I was in the room, or I was going in the kitchen or whatever. So I saw at least half of the first one, and the whole time that it was on, I was just thinking, God, if this was a Pixar movie, this would be just incredible. The jokes write themselves, and whoever wrote this movie is missing all of them because I could just tell that there's a setup. There's a setup. And I don't know what I guess Adam Sandler wrote the damn thing or something. And I just don't
I
think
knew
he was-
Adam Sandler had something
Yeah, and
to
I
do
just
with.
didn't think that he was a good enough Dracula. I don't know who Pixar would have cast, but it wouldn't have been Adam Sandler. But that's just me.
That's interesting.
Okay. So this
Why don't
episode,
you like Shrek? I know people are wondering.
One of my best and dearest friends, her daughter was obsessed with Shrek 2 as a little well, she is a toddler. As like a little mini toddler. That's all she would watch. Nothing else. I'm thinking, and I asked her, what is wrong with your child? It's like, why does she like Shrek 2 so much?
Oh God, it wasn't even the first one.
No!
Shrek 2 was
Shrek
actually
2.
good too.
Was it really?
See, and I love Mike Myers. So I wanted to really like the movie, but no.
I kind of like the first one.
She hasn't told me why. Hold on. Why she doesn't like Shrek 2.
It's because it's ugly.
I mean, he is a Shrek. I
It's
get
hard to. It's hard on the eye.
Look at
Heavy.
it. Look at it this way. When Pixar did Monsters Inc., they could have made some of those monsters look repulsive. Yet all of the monsters, even the ones
They
that are
were
supposed
adorable.
to be gross, yeah, they had a level of adorable.
one that wasn't.
Always watching.
Okay, so she was the ugliest monster in Monsters Inc., but even she is easier on the eyes than 90
Then
minutes
Shrek.
of Shrek. You know, looking at, and also the level of animation at that point, shouldn't it have been better?
What year was it?
Pixar looked.
No,
it was-
Shrek.
Oh, I don't know
I thought that's what we were talking about.
what we are, but I'm comparing it again to Pixar because they were the standard bearer. And I think at that point they've at least had done Toy Story 2.
We were still in high school, so this is 2000. I want to say 2,
Yeah.
3,
Somewhere in there. And I think the first Toy Story was like in what, 96, 97?
96.
And then the second one came out like in 2000 or something. You know, so Pixar had a leg up on them, but at that point, if you're going to compete, it has to look that good. And then when Shrek came out, it was a really good effort and the idea was great, but he wasn't a good looking character to look at.
And neither was she.
And the you know, the character
But it wasn't
models
because it was
were just-
digitally bad. It just they were ugly. They
were
they
ugly.
were they were Shreks.
I don't know.
Ogres.
It felt like they didn't have the money to make them look better.
No, because there's pretty people in there.
I didn't think they looked fine.
Really?
Like even like the third Madagascar, I just don't like how those characters are designed, and I just don't like it. Like Hotel Transylvania is a gorgeous
The art
looking
of
movie,
it, the art
but I
of
don't
it.
like the art style of those characters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the
that-
creativity could have been better.
Okay, I see. I see what you're saying now.
Yeah.
But that's opinion. Like, because some people kind of like Family Guy's drawn one way, and the Simpsons are drawn another way. Disney
Yeah.
draws their cartoons different, whatever. You know.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying now. I thought there was like glitches or like
No. It had nothing to do with that.
Oh,
like
okay.
the animation was okay for what it was. I just didn't like the way the characters were designed and the world that they lived in. I just felt that at that point it should have been more. There should have been a lot more detail in it because of what Pixar was able to do with like Toy Story 2.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you look at the quality of detail and then you go to Shrek and you're just like something looks far simpler here when they're in a world where you could just add so much detail to it. Like imagine if Shrek had the level of detail that Brave had.
I have to watch it again because I never got that feeling watching it, especially because of the content. Like, it was a good story and
Yeah.
it was funny. That's different from it's a bad movie.
Yeah. Hotel Transylvania was a bad movie, but it looked pretty.
No one
and that
talks
just
about
goes
that.
like to me that goes to show like you can have a gorgeous movie and when there's no substance to it, it's not entertaining.
A lot of people watched it in Spanish for those people that hear it in Spanish, and it was the first movie that wasn't generically translated. And so, because you had actual Spanish actors
Yeah.
who added their own spice to it, and it was funny.
So Shrek is funnier in Spanish.
It actually is funnier in Spanish, yeah. If it was even funny to you in English, it was funnier in Spanish.
I think how you're describing Hotel Transylvania is how some would describe ants. Whereas I loved ants.
Really?
I did.
But you did not like.
I didn't like Bug's Life at the time.
Oh, okay.
I
Ant-
did like that Ants was more adult.
Oh,
Ants was beautiful to me.
Mm-hmm.
I thought just how smooth and pretty they looked and the design of them, that was really nice.
I just remember Sylvester Stallone and who's the little guy with glasses? What's his name? The lead guy, Woody Allen. He's in that movie, right? He's a voice.
He's a little guy with glasses.
Woody Allen.
in real life, I think.
Yeah, but yeah,
There's
I remember
a lot
him
of
being.
little guy with glasses. I was gonna say Danny DeVito.
That is a little guy with glasses.
Guess. You know, there's a thing going around about people using Danny DeVito as a metric of measurement.
How many Danny's does it take?
Yeah,
to...
they're like, oh yeah, it's from here to here. How many Danny DeVitos is that? I don't know, like 12. Oh, okay.
That's
Is that side to side or up?
No, that's
Why not Kevin Hart then?
Oh, laying down.
laying down like head to toe, head to toe.
Wow.
They're like, that's 7 Danny
Why is
DeVito.
he actually 5 foot nothing? Is that why?
He is short. He's short.
I don't know.
I just don't know who's shorter. Well,
Would-
I guess he must be shorter than Kevin Hart.
Which one is? Oh, that is short too. Which
Yeah.
one's Woody Allen? Is he the I Shrunk the Kids?
No, that
Because
was
that's who I thought of.
that was not. What's
No.
the name of the guy from Honey I Shrunk the Kids? And he's also in Ghostbusters.
The
no,
new
that's-
one?
No, the old ones.
No.
We don't talk about the new one.
What about the new one?
Oh, totally. Like I'm so excited to see that.
That's the one I was talking about.
Okay.
That is the new one.
Oh, okay. Have you seen the one from like a couple years ago?
I tried,
Okay, so you never finished.
and it's not has nothing to do with gender. It was bad.
All right. I mean, it was bad, right, Sarah?
Very.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't finish it. I
How-
barely watched it.
So I'm the only one here that went to the theater and finished it.
Yeah, I didn't go to the theater. I was watching it at somewhere, and I stopped it. I was like, stop.
Let's go ahead and talk about what we gathered here for. Flat Earth. It's a theory that exists, and it's been around for a long, long time. Though many theories are out there, the prevailing top theory is that the Earth is a disk, with the Arctic Circle in the center and Antarctica, a 150-foot tall wall of ice around the rim. It is also said that NASA employees guard the ice wall to prevent people from climbing over and falling off of the edge of the disk. It is described as being similar to the Jim Carrey movie The Truman Show, only on a scale like 2,000 times bigger. Mm-hmm. You know? Okay, so we know what the flat Earth theory is, right?
I'm not familiar with all of the facts, but I am familiar with what we're saying. We're just saying that it's not a globe, it's not a circle, it's not a sphere, right? It's flat.
Yeah. Okay. When I'd heard that it was compared to the Truman Show, I was like, okay, like I guess that makes some semblance of sense. If you're going to try to describe this to somebody, like the Truman Show. Oh, okay. The Truman Show, you know, is a movie from many years back. It follows a man named Truman Burbank, where his entire life is a real-time reality show where he lives in a 200-mile dome and is filled with actors to make him believe that this is reality. Normal everyday household items are presented in ways to advertise products since there are no commercial breaks. As time goes on, Truman discovers the truth that his life was not real. It stars Jim Carrey and it came out in 1998.
It was beautiful too.
I want to say that that's one of those movies I saw one time, and then I saw it as I was young, so
Yeah.
I need to watch that again.
I know, it's been, I couldn't even tell you how long it's been since I've seen The Truman Show, but I have seen it on bits and pieces on television. And I think at the time when it came out, I was, oh man, this is Jim Carrey. He was the Mask, blah, blah, blah. Or what, I can't remember which came first, but I knew he was the funny man. And then I go and see him in The Truman Show and I'm like, this isn't funny. What is this? Hands on hips.
He did take a lot of roles, a lot of big roles that required him to be big on camera.
Yeah.
You know? From a detective to a liar to a mask being put on, you know?
Yeah. So in the flat Earth theory, the day and night cycle is explained that the sun and moon are spheres measuring 32 miles that move in circles, 3,000 miles above the Earth. Like giant spotlights, these celestial spheres illuminate different portions of the planet in 24-hour cycles. It is believed that there is an invisible anti-moon that obscures the moon during lunar eclipses. So go ahead.
What?
According to the flat Earth theory, you know, we live in a dome of some sort, and there, way up there, is a giant mechanical spotlight that it gives us natural warmth. And there's also a moon that does the opposite. And as it rotates, now it's dark. And, you know.
Yikes is right.
So,
But you got to give it to them. The way they present these ideas, I mean.
no, I thought that was because the diagram had to have like a way of showing us how the moon and the sun, or the light and the moon, you know.
Oh, so you interpreted it as we are on this flat plane. The moon and the sun are still out there, and they do their thing.
Yeah.
Oh, no. The way I took it is that we are inside a dome, and inside the dome as well are these giant lights that...
And some people don't know
us.
if we have a dome. Like, they don't know if there's an actual dome or if there isn't. Because
I think one of the things that we'll get to it later in the podcast when we talk about the movie that we watched. Didn't they talk about, like, they don't know if the sky is infinite and it just goes straight up?
Right.
And that there's not cased in anything?
Right, which would be dome or no dome. But we're still flat. We just don't know if there's something like if we go high enough, we're going to hit it.
Yeah. Okay.
Still, then that would, I mean, if there's something holding that light in the moon, what's holding it? Who put it there? I thought the flat Earth thing was more like, hey, we're just a piece of rock flying through.
And just minding our own business.
Yeah.
We look like a Super Smash Brothers level. We're just flat like that.
Yeah.
Apparently, Earth's gravity is an illusion where objects do not accelerate downward. Instead, the disk of the Earth accelerates upward at 32 feet per second.
Per second, or per second?
Per second. Just one time. Okay, so let that sink in. Gravity's not real.
Okay.
And that goes for anybody on the planet, or the plane, I'm sorry. At any given time that drops anything, that means the plane goes up and up and up.
any woman that is a part of this is a dipshit.
Any woman?
Because I'm sorry. What's the very first thing for us to lose gravity is our boobs.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Tell me about it, sister.
It is believed that photos of the globe are photoshopped, and GPS devices are rigged to make airplanes think that they are flying in a straight line around the sphere when they're actually flying in circles around a larger disk.
Yeah,
You know,
keep saying facts, bro, because this is still hard to swallow. I want to swallow though.
okay. It is believed that the motive for the world government's concealment of the true shape of the planet has not been ascertained, but the lead assumption is financial, because, money is the root of all evils. It could logically cost less money to fake a space program than to actually have one, so those in the conspiracy profit from the funding NASA and other agencies received from the government.
My stepdad would be insulted right now.
Well, imagine me going down and down and down this little rabbit hole.
Insulted or scared that the funding may stop
No,
if people
insulted.
find out.
He's head of IT. He's insulted.
I don't know. I'd want those checks to keep coming in,
Because if anything, stop those checks.
Yeah.
Okay.
That might change Earth as we know it.
Y'all stop.
Sarah, I just want you
I'm about
to
to
know.
quit the show.
Wow. With a flat. I mean, come on. We got to look at it from all sides. And we got to, I'm
This
going to
you'll look at from all sides, but not the security footage from the Pentagon. From all sides.
Like, it doesn't exist, bro. It didn't. Oh my God. Okay. So I want to try to preface. I don't want to make fun of the flat earthers. You guys can, but I'm going to try to look at it as objectively as possible. Maybe I'm not going to agree with them when it's all said and done, but
What other facts do we have here? Like, what else is the explain? Because the Antarctica thing that makes sense. Like, I don't know why all these countries signed this deal to where nobody could explore or get really near the edge. You know?
Can I say it's because there's absolutely no pollution there? It's an iceberg they're trying to preserve because global warming's already fucking it up. We don't need all these tourists to keep going there on their planes or boats and emit any kind of fumes or anything that's unnecessary to that. So yeah, keep something pristine on this beautiful earth because we're fucking everything else up. That's my theory.
it is quite a shame to see that, what is that, like satellite photos from like a decade ago
Yeah.
of the ice caps. And then you look at them like a year ago and they are substantially smaller than what they were.
Right.
It is kind of scary because if they all just melted at once, the water level is going to rise.
Yeah.
And people are going to die.
Louisiana's going to go first.
Really? Not California?
Well, Italy, maybe. Because Italy's already sinking.
Is it now?
Yeah. But so is Louisiana. It's a swamp.
I tried to, after Harvey, I tried to drive to the casinos, and you have to take I-10. There was a part, like I got so far, and I was like, okay, I can still drive through this part in the truck.
Yeah.
Eventually, it started to look like I was driving the beach. And I was like, I think I should stop
Are you talking about that long stretch of the bridge?
Yeah.
That you just, okay. All that water was much higher?
I couldn't believe it. Yeah.
Was it like actually cresting the bridge?
My truck that was on the bridge.
Wow.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, how did this flood so bad? There was something, not the lights, not the traffic lights, something that is usually really high up and like it shows it's I-10 or something. That looked like that was the beginning of the water. Like it was like you were looking into the ocean. And it was I-10 on the way to Louisiana.
Wow.
I couldn't believe it. I'll find this.
I can't believe it because I've been on that stretch of road several times now. And
non-existent.
When you look to your left and your right, you see water, but it is unimaginable to me to think that water level would be so high because when I go over it, it's way down there. Yeah. But I'm like, man, this is a really big bridge. To think that water was, scaring you in your big old truck. So you said abort mission?
Yeah, I was about an hour away. No, I'm almost still 2 hours, but I had been driving for an hour. You know? So about an hour and a half then, or an hour, and I was like, I need to turn around.
And you knew when you made that trip that there were casinos open?
Yeah.
Wow. You would have probably been locked in there.
Yeah. Okay, so here is a really good one, which I'll post on Twitter since people can't see what we're looking at, but you've seen it. Maybe now we're talking about the same thing.
Yeah.
Side by side.
Whoa.
No fucking way, dude.
It looks like
What?
the ocean.
You are in the ocean.
So that's not how bad it was when I was there, but it was
got that
enough,
bad.
yeah, to where I was like, I had to turn around, and I was like the only car, right? It was me and my friend. We were
Dude.
trying to be stupid or something. We were like, let's just go. We're trying to go.
Yeah.
And we turned around on the same road, one way. We had to turn back around on that same road, and obviously there's not enough traffic, so we were safe to eventually get back on the other side. But
Yeah.
that's how we had to turn around.
That's so scary.
That's incredible to look at that. level of
Eye-opening,
water.
right?
Yeah.
Harvey was a bitch.
It just didn't stop.
What an asshole.
How do y'all feel about what I've told y'all about what they believe is the basis of their theory so far?
I'm so trying to. I'm really not trying. I'm going to try now. But it's almost like this is part of a chapter in Scientology. It's too outrageous for me to wrap my head around.
Yeah.
It makes me feel like it's based off another science fiction novel.
Uh-huh.
And I'm just. Okay.
I concede to the fact that I've never been to space, so that I can be like, yeah, that's a sphere I'm looking at. You know? I concede to that. And the other thing that I told you about was I don't know why all of the countries would not. Why wouldn't one country be like, okay, our Antarctica's mine, like they did with everything else, and be like, and I'll protect it. Why did everybody sign the treaty and say nobody can go? For whatever reason, the powers that be are like, yeah, this never needs to get out. For protection, for whatever, okay. Those are the two things that I'm like, okay. And the other thing is which I don't know if you talked about yet, are the plane routes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't discussed that yet.
So if you're gonna, that's the other thing that I'm okay with conceding. Like, that is a bit strange.
Yeah. All right. So after looking up just a simple basis of what the flat earth theory entails as a whole, I went on and I was like, okay, I know that throughout history, there were cultures that thought the world was flat. And I wanted to look it up, and I ended up at the History Channel, which basically it's history.com, but their thumbnail is the logo of the History Channel. So I went onto there and I looked up flat earth, and something came up about Christopher Columbus. I said, all right, cool. Let me go see if Christopher Columbus believed the world was flat. I wasn't sure because it has been so long since I've even studied anything about Christopher Columbus. And what I found was when Christopher Columbus set sail in 1492, he nor his Spanish patrons thought that the earth was a finite plane instead of a round planet. No one thought that. Columbus predicted that he would make landfall in Asia. Legend says that he defied Spanish officials and sailed west instead of east because he was certain that the world was round. And instead he hit America.
So he couldn't prove shit.
Yeah, I guess he figured, well, the world is round and there's just us. So that other, wherever he was trying to go is like on the other side. And he figured it doesn't matter which direction I go, I'm going to hit it because it's round. People were probably saying, not the people that he was interacting with, but others were like, if you go, you have to go this way. And he was like, no, the world is round. I'll go this way or that way and I will hit it. Of course, no one knew at that time that between where he was and where he wanted to go, there was America. Mm-hmm. And so when he hit that, he was like, wait, this trip was nowhere near long enough. Pretty sure this is
He had a
new.
very old map.
Yeah.
Like, we were still part of Africa.
It looked like the Shire, and he was like, I don't know what that is. Is that a... Oh, they call those buffaloes.
Wait, what's
Buffaloes?
this button here that says update on Google Maps? I'm gonna click that real quick.
And then it processes for like 3 hours, and it's like, God damn it. This is what dial-up does.
Yeah, on the go because he's on the ship.
Yeah. According to history, it's almost certain that nobody thought that the earth was flat in the 1490s. Historian Jeffrey Burton Russell states, quote, no educated person in the history of Western civilization from the 3rd century BC onward believed the world was flat. So there is that, and scientists and philosophers and mathematicians who, as early as around 600 BC, had made observations that the Earth was round using calculations based on the sun's rise and fall, shadows, and other physical properties here on the planet.
And they were fucking smart, okay?
Yeah, if you're able to figure out all that stuff and directions and all that crap just by looking up at the stars.
I mean, if you just look at the moon and it's flat, you're like, okay, that's probably what we look like. And then you look at the sun and it's flat, and it's like, yeah, that's probably what we look like. But that's not what we see when we look up, ever.
Yeah, and to just use shadows and all that stuff to figure out, well, I don't think we're flat. I'm pretty positive that we're round.
This one's way further than this one, but they kind of look the same because that one's really big and this one's not that big. So they looked at the same size, but they're round. Like when you look at them, they're round. But what are the odds that they two are round, but we're not?
Yeah.
Do you know what we are? We're a planet that's on the back of a space whale.
Oh.
I'll concede to that. Doctor Who style. Fuck it.
Damn right.
And that's the only way that you could concede to the idea that this plane of existence is flat is because we're on a space whale.
Yes.
And it just doesn't matter.
Yep. It's comfortable right where it is. It doesn't have to go very far.
I resent that remark. I don't like it. I don't like it.
So if we're on a space whale, is the space whale flying around the sun?
He found its comfy spot.
Oh, and he's just chilling.
He stayed there for millions of years.
Yeah.
We need water.
No, on the plane of
A
existence.
space whale. He just needs meteors.
Yeah, Manuel.
They call bullshit.
Fuck you, blue whale.
Hey.
Oh, that's why you're offended, because you're a whale. And we're
Right.
using you as an animal to leech off of.
Duh.
Oh, okay. And here I was thinking that you thought this idea was dumb.
Yeah. Can I say the F word?
Oh.
I'm sorry, blue whale.
Oh,
You eat
whoa.
other fish, you carnivore. Or,
Hey.
no, what's it called? Cannibal.
We all need food. We all need food. Don't you eat
Well,
other
space
humans?
whale only needs planets.
No, you know what? Are we one of the only... Well, I'm sure dolphins don't eat other dolphins, do they?
No, I've heard you sickos eat humans too.
Okay, yeah. I was going to say, we're one of the few creatures on the planet that don't eat other of the same species. But
False.
there are, I know, there's false. There's like a fraction of 1% that does. And it's awful.
There are hidden islands that will eat each other. Yep.
Islands?
Or like a tribe.
Oh, yeah.
on
Hidden
these-
tribes that will...
Yeah, they're cannibals. Mhm.
It's food, man. Hey, meat is meat. Then kind of like they say, a tongue is a tongue.
Yo,
No, wait, that's mouth. I don't know. Don't quote me.
I got to ask, have you ever had tongue?
No.
Sarah?
You never
No.
had lingua? No.
No, I've never had. No, I think that's disgusting.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, okay. I don't think I could ever
I will
eat
say
tongue.
my ex liked it.
A lot of people feel like
Just
it-
not from
it-
Katz's, y'all. Apparently the Jews can't do it.
Katz's serves tongue.
Yes.
I now know you're talking about the restaurant, but I thought you were talking about like Kitty. I was
no.
like, oh my gosh.
No, Katz's the restaurant.
They serve tongue.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, I mean, of course, so you have Spanish or Hispanic food.
Yeah.
They love their cow tongue. Well, apparently the Jewish culture thought they could do it too.
Uh-huh.
But they can't.
They also thought they could make tortillas, and they suck.
Yikes.
They're awful. They're like...
Jewish tortillas?
Yeah, they're like twice as thick, and they're rock hard, and I don't know. bleh.
You're talking about naan.
Or maybe it's
That's
Greek
fucking
food.
delicious.
I don't know.
Yeah, now that was like I think he meant not. He meant
Basically,
Greek.
basically those other cultures that think, oh, we can make a tortilla. That looks simple enough. And then they like fuck it up hard.
He hates Greek food. Or Mediterranean food. And it's only because of the what his job brought him.
Yeah.
I'm going to educate you.
Okay, so several months back, maybe it was a year ago, my job, they feed us every Saturday. And I deeply appreciate that because I came from 2 other jobs that did everything in their power to avoid feeding their employees.
Damn.
And they tried at this particular time, they were doing like burgers, they were doing pasta, bunch of stuff. And then they went to Mediterranean food. And I was like, oh man, I've never had that. Cool. Okay. So they deliver these trays, right? And I don't know if it was I think it was lamb and some sort of
Oh, lamb is
chicken
good.
or some sort of other meat. And then there were these things that looked like tortillas. Okay. I'm thinking I'm going to make a taco with some sort of salsa. It'll be great. And it wasn't, because for whatever reason, the meat, no matter how hard I tried to microwave it, would not get hot. And the quote tortilla was hard. It was like a floppy hard. And I didn't understand the science of this thing. And so when I would heat it up, the tortilla would get soft.
It's because there was no lard.
But when I bit into it, I was like, why is it hard like leather? I didn't understand. I'm like, you're floppy.
Because you overcooked it.
Oh my, I didn't overcook it. I
Yes, you
was
did.
nuked anyway.
You nuked it.
I was so angry. Later that night or that evening after I got off of work, I went and hung out with Zach. And he was like, hey man, let's go to a pizza joint. And I was so happy to have hot food. And I explained to him, I was like, I don't know what was up with this meat, but nuking it was not working. Like, it would be hot as I pulled it out of the microwave. By the time I sat down and bit into it, it was cold. And I'm like, what the fuck?
So you would need to like hit the microwave door open and like put it in your mouth.
I was like, what black magic is this crap? And like, I was one of like 5 people that hated it. And I just couldn't understand why everyone loved it. I said, you can't, it's like the meat's not even warm. I don't know. I just couldn't. I couldn't. Okay, so you guys are thinking the tortilla didn't have lard in it, and that's why it wasn't.
It's a totally different recipe.
I mean, but it's just a flat piece of bread.
Yeah.
With the tortilla, right?
You don't nuke it.
Well, how was I going to make it hot? I wanted it warm.
And no.
They're really not supposed to be warm.
Hush.
When they're fresh, yeah. But then after that, you just eat it like it's like bread. You toast it, it's gonna get hard.
Okay, so given everything that you have now, we're going to go ahead and talk about the main event here. I went and found a movie that we could watch that was about the flat earth theory, and it was on Netflix, and it's called Behind the Curve. Okay. And this movie was released in 2018 and was later released onto Netflix in 2019. Behind the Curve follows a group of real flat earthers, which is a small but growing contingent of people who firmly believe in a conspiracy to suppress the truth that the earth is flat. It is 1 hour and 35 minutes long and was directed by Daniel J. Clark. Okay, so we follow a guy named Mark Sargent mostly throughout this entire thing. He discusses his theory of the flat earth, which is a dome, and his role as an advocate. So going into this thing, how did y'all feel first off about Mark Sargent?
Ego.
Well, I didn't get that vibe. I just didn't think that that's what we were watching.
What?
Like their lives. It wasn't even about the flat earth. It was about who they are and what they do.
And how they go about putting out the message.
Yeah.
And all that stuff.
I got extremely frustrated.
I kind of got the impression of an ego type thing in the first 5 minutes. And then as it progressed and we got to see more of Mark's life, that feeling of him being like a douche or whatever, like, oh, I'm all hiding my...
No, there were other douches.
To me, that started to diminish. And I was like, oh, okay, so he is, for the most part, probably the most likable out of all of the people that we're introduced to.
You didn't like Matt?
Which one was Matt?
Matt Powerland?
Which one was he?
The one that got upset that Mark was...
Oh, the original flat earther guy.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about that guy. I couldn't remember his name. Okay, so he had this thing that Mark stole his idea.
No. Remember, Matt accused Mark of being part of the agenda. He like, oh, you're created, bro. You're from Warner Brothers. You were sent in.
Yeah.
You're on payroll.
Because Matt is the one that believed in flat earth first.
Even though the theory of flat earth has existed for hundreds of years in history.
Sure, but he was the first one to bring it up. Like, he was the first brave person to bring it out into society and be like, y'all can believe it or whatever.
Yeah.
But then he got all artsy-fartsy and whatever.
He disappeared.
Yeah, for what, 20 years?
Because that's what happens when you become an artiste. You
Yeah.
disappear.
You become aloof.
It's also the courts mandated that you do community service in a different state.
God damn it.
Jay.
No, that was unrelated and not true at all.
Yeah.
22 minutes in, the movie mentioned planes, but they didn't say like remember they were talking about like the routes or whatever.
They weren't on it for very long.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
they didn't. They mentioned it, but they didn't say if it happened or how it happened. If it did, just talking about the chick, but the Patricia chick and Mark, and this was 22 minutes in. I was like, okay.
And the one girl with purple hair, I couldn't understand her. I think she was looking at it from both sides like you are.
Patricia?
No.
No. The girl with she was wearing
purple hair.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
she had the nose ring
Yep.
and all that.
I didn't know if she was on board or not. I couldn't tell if she was being sarcastic or what, because she was the first one to be like, well, okay, so look at this plane. It's pretty far down south. We don't know where it came from or where it was going, but we do see it's far enough down south, whereas the one guy was saying they don't fly south.
There was 5 seconds of something that I was able to understand of how they are getting at if it's flat or not flat, but then I couldn't understand what her point was. Is she saying it is or it isn't?
I don't get her. I don't.
And then they
She
kept
kind of
talking.
bugged me. I didn't get her.
They kept talking about like, yeah, you see Seattle, that you wouldn't be able to see it if it
I'm
was...
sorry. We could be in a different town of Houston and see the landscape of Houston City.
Yeah.
That doesn't prove your point.
And they did that. This was almost 40 minutes in. They're still talking about far, far away. You can see this, and I'm like, move on.
I'm sorry. It's just. Mm-mm. So it's kind of like you can be on a stretch of highway. You'll
Yeah.
see the city where you're going is over there.
If you can see it based on the pollution.
Yeah.
I mean, we can see
Nicholas.
Houston, but I mean, can you really see Houston?
So like when you go to.
my God.
True.
You see a haze of Houston.
True.
That is
So like
Houston
when you go to
still.
Dallas,
Yes.
when you go to Dallas, you see the.
The stretch. That's
Yeah.
exactly what you're talking about.
You could be 100 miles away, ish, but you can still see it from far away.
Yeah, it's,
It's
like,
not
Sarah,
that-
are we there yet? No, but I see it. We're not there yet.
No.
Okay. Dallas is Mordor. It's never going to get closer.
Right.
No matter how hard you travel.
Oh, that's the movie we were just watching.
Watching Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Anyway, so I didn't like that point.
So, okay, they looked at the Earth not as a globe, but they like peeled it and would lay the image down on a flat surface. And I get that. That's okay. But then they made the image circular, you know, not a sphere, but it's circular on a disc, I guess. And that's how they were looking at the Earth. And when they talked about airplanes not flying south, the way I interpreted it is, well, you can't really look at a map of airplanes on a computer screen because it's on a flat surface. You know, so if a plane is flying down in the bottom right corner and you're like, I don't know where it came from, well, I guess if you dragged the image to that portion of the world, there would be another continent somewhere down there,
Right.
unless all the continents were situated on the main screen,
Yeah.
and yet there's still a plane flying way down. Is that what they were trying to say?
No.
Because if you're looking at America and whatever, and there's a plane flying in from the bottom right, I would assume, oh, it's coming from Africa, and it's going to Florida or something, whatever it's down that way.
Oh, okay.
Or Australia.
Flying into America.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I can't remember if when she was talking about the planes and how they were flying, if all the continents were on the screen and there was
No.
one plane.
Well, no,
way down
all
there.
the continents were, but then what she was saying is something leaving kind of like from South America, like from the Argentina part, going
Yeah.
to the right. And, it's like,
And
where
she
is
was
it
like,
going?
"Where's it going?"
Which, in my head, I'm like, maybe Australia, but the whole point was that they wouldn't do that.
Yeah,
They would just go further down south of South America and then meet Australia down there, not to the right.
I don't know.
And the same thing from California. If you go from California to the Philippines or Japan,
Yeah.
would you go left? Would you go down? Would you go right?
I wonder if I know there's jet trails, like air trail, there's like
Those
air
are chemtrails.
Yeah, no. There's like air
It's a superhighway.
superhighway of not vacuums of air, but pockets of air that can travel long distances with ease or whatever. For whatever reason, there's like an airflow that goes like whatever snakes wherever it wants to go. I'm wondering if like a
Like
plane.
in Finding Nemo, whenever you
Yeah,
get into
kinda.
that
Exactly.
water thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly like that, only up in the sky. I
And
know.
it'll save energy and stuff.
Yeah, so like a plane will fly opposite direction of where it's supposed to go, fly into that thing, and use minimal effort to get there faster or whatever. It'll just ride the coattails of nature instead of, and it
That's
would
very
save
smart.
fuel.
Did they say this in the movie?
No.
But that's the only reason why I would imagine a plane would intentionally go the wrong way to get on the super highway.
This may
in
not
the
even be
sky.
true. You're
No.
just saying, I would imagine that this is what's happening.
Yeah, that's what I would guess.
I have heard that term before, though.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called, but I do know like what is in Finding Nemo down in the water. There are those pockets up in the sky, and I don't know how that happens. But
I just
whatever.
asked you if you made it up, and you said yes, and now you're saying that they do exist.
They
So
do.
No,
Dude.
you asked if it was in this movie. And we
Oh.
we were
And
saying
And that was,
no.
I was like, that's a perfect analogy because I completely forgot that they did that example in Finding Nemo.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know how it works. I wish I did because that'd be kind of cool. But yeah, I would
But
imagine
we're
a
probably
plane.
making up the word superhighway. It's technically called something else.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I didn't know that existed, but the answer to my question was left, down, or right, but did they actually go up? So, like, if you left from California to go to Japan, they would not, in our head, you'd go, okay, just go left, across the Pacific. But they don't. They go up to Washington, and then they go through a little bit of Canada, through Alaska, over to Russia, down to Japan.
and we're talking about on the flat Earth.
No,
That's how that.
we're talking about that's how they fly today.
Really?
Yes.
You do all that leapfrogging Just there's like what?
Just to get to the Philippines?
There's what? 7 layovers just to get over there?
You don't stop. No, you just fly over all that.
Oh,
and if
okay.
the Earth is flat like they're saying it is, then it would make sense that they just go up
Yeah.
and not left over the Pacific.
Oh, okay. It's still kind of confusing. I'm like, what?
So
This is a perfect thing where I need like a diorama and you pointing with lasers and all that stuff. And I'm like,
it
oh.
helps. No, it helps. You need that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw it. So, and not, I don't know if I'm explaining it the best, but then one of the quotes was, "We have questions they can't answer." But throughout the whole movie / show, documentary, whatever this is, they don't say what the questions were. I was so frustrated with this. I was like, what? I need more proof. And you keep saying like that you're right and they're wrong, but you're not telling me how you're right. And then they point again to the far out. I'm like, if you point one more time, brother.
We're going to reach in there from 2017 and fucking punch you.
Yeah, when it got to the Matt and the Mark feud, it reminded me of Carol Baskin and Exotic Joe. I was like, this Netflix is just punching this out. But then you just said that it wasn't even a Netflix thing. Netflix bought it and put it on there.
Yeah.
No, let me say, the guy after Mark Sargent, that douche canoe, he says, oh, flat earthers? They're not these guys living or people living in their mom's basements. These are actually smart guys and pretty wealthy guys. I'm thinking, okay, asshole, you're in a 1-bedroom little studio configuration thing with your little mini fridge, your microwave stacked on top, and your little cups of noodles.
With your mom.
Give me a fucking break.
I know, Sarah
And then
was...
Mark Sargent in a small bedroom. He's living with his mom because he has a twin bed and a little desk.
That's what I was like when he said this. Like, yeah, no, none of us live with their mom. I was like, didn't we meet your mom 1 minute in?
Yeah.
So I took it. They never said definite. Well, I guess you're not going to say that on camera. I took it that the mom either lives really close or she lives with him in his house.
Uh-huh.
Because that can happen.
Sure.
It can happen.
My parents live a block away.
Yeah. Okay.
But they don't live with you.
No, they do live a block away.
But there are cases where parents can live with the child.
Sure.
Yeah. And we don't
But
know.
he looked like he was living upstairs.
Yeah.
But in his mommy's house. She was staying downstairs.
Oh,
This was the reverse.
yeah.
Mom, she's hitting it. Mark, keep it down.
Because if this was his place, yeah, honey, I know. He would not have a twin bed. He just wouldn't.
Unless he has his office set up in the guest room, and the guest room has a twin bed.
Honey, your old bedroom was his bedroom.
Yeah.
That was the size and the everything about it.
Uh-huh.
His bedroom was your old bedroom.
Do we have a
You
picture?
learned to upgrade, didn't you?
Do we have a picture of your old bedroom?
my old
that
bedroom?
The listeners can see.
I mean, we can take a picture of this room and roughly say that, no, I think my old bedroom was smaller than this room.
Yep.
It was.
That was a quick answer. Yep.
Are you kidding me, Nick?
My
old
his
bedroom.
bedroom was a walk-in closet.
Yeah,
Well, compared to your room, since your parents loved you so much.
Nick, but you can't be like roughly. If it's roughly, it's very rough. This room.
From the wall that's directly behind me to the end of this table was probably the size of my room. And that's probably
And
pushing
you had
it.
a twin bed, and you had a desk.
I did.
You couldn't
yes.
have a queen size bed. Hell no.
No.
Could barely fit a full.
I don't need a full. I'm a small guy. A twin was fine.
Right.
If I needed to sleep on this table, I think the table would be slightly too big because I don't need that much room.
But well, no, I'll leave that alone. But this guy, he was well in his 40s, still have a fucking twin size bed. To me, a grown ass man would at least want a full or a queen. Okay.
Okay. I mean, if
I'm being a smidge
I'm gonna say,
judgy.
if I lived by myself in an apartment, I'd be like, why do I need a bed bigger than? Well, I don't know. Maybe. I
I'm
don't
sorry if you want female company.
What's the end game here?
Apparently, they are trying to find a woman to mooch off of. Okay, and he did with that Patricia woman. But back to that one.
But she left. They were. It looked like they were gonna be in cahoots sexually and whatever. But then she took everything and left to England after she met him. So she bailed. She was like,
Because she
But
knew.
she did come back.
not to him. She just came back.
She came back.
Because her fortune's here in Houston, of course.
Yeah. Her name is Patricia Steer. She was also
CIA.
Patricia Steer was also featured and is a close friend of Sargent's, and she is the creator of the podcast Flat Earth and Other Hot Potatoes.
Maybe they'll give us facts about the flat Earth there.
And what is Other Hot Potatoes? I
I
don't understand that part.
Basically, I guess it's Flat Earth is like the main core of the show, and then Other Hot Potatoes is basically, look at it this way: the Six Ad Cast is the Flat Earth part, and then the Hot Potatoes is all the bullshit that we talk about from poop and all this other crap that we just talk about from movies and video games.
Like, the hot potatoes are the kittens.
But no, at least we generalize in the show. Six Sad Cast. We talk about everything
Yeah,
obscene.
there you go. And so she talks about mainly, it should be about, every episode should be about Flat Earth, but I don't know how many episodes you could get out of one single topic.
Right. And she, at the time, she ended up, 180 something?
Yeah, right. I
was
want to
quite
listen to
impressive.
like episode 101 and be like, and that's my recipe for watermelon. Wait, just watermelon? Well, if you heard the rest of the episode,
Have you
it
ever
makes
grilled a
sense.
watermelon?
No.
Fantastic.
Shut up. It's just water. What are you talking about?
Exactly. It's just water.
Out of all fruits, you
Hey, we used to watch Hell's Kitchen or whatever, Kitchen Nightmare, and they talked about, was it grilling a salad?
Yes, they grilled a lettuce. Grilled salad.
You guys want sauteed salad?
Yeah.
And then like Ramsey would come and be like, "The fuck is this? Are you a fucking Muppet?"
Oh, but I'm sorry. Can I go back to the second douche canoe that appeared on the show? He said he didn't believe in dinosaurs. I hate him.
What was that guy's name? I can't remember his name. The guy with the hammers, right?
He's irrelevant.
Oh yeah, that was actually kind of impressive. He was
That
playing,
was impressive, but he's
The
irrelevant.
focus.
but then he would go to like the store and be like, "Hey man, did you know the Earth is flat?" And he would like harass
No, this
random
poor
people.
woman was just sitting in the convertible. Her husband probably just went inside.
Yeah.
And he says, "Hey, yeah, so and so, so and so." It's like, dude, she does not care.
Yeah, and she's probably like, "What the fuck is happening?" Like, but I've
Am
seen
I
this on the
being
news.
assaulted? I'll put my hands up.
She gets her rape whistle ready. I'm ready.
Whoa.
I'm ready when you are. He's whipping it out. Oh my. Yeah.
I hate that guy.
Yeah, when he said the dinosaurs thing, I'm like, it's a good argument, bud, but
It's
nah.
like, dude, we are just 2 minutes into your little segment and you throw that in.
Oh god. I mean, I thought Manuel would have been like, he goes, "Man," and then they made up dinosaurs. It made me think of you, and I was like, Manuel would get along great with this guy.
I'd be like, hey man, what's your name? it's Gerald, but it's not with a G or an H. Oh,
What?
why would it be with an H? And he'd be like, sit down, man. You want a hammer? No, I don't. I'm good.
And you get your whistle ready.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I'm good. Oh, well, I forgot my whistle. No, what was I gonna say? Oh, when he did help somebody at the grocery store and then started talking about if they did know that the Earth was flat, it reminded me of my cousin's wife who just talked to me about becoming an insurance agent, and they were talking about your first circle of influence. It's life insurance, so I get it. Like I'm like, okay, everybody needs life insurance. That I get, whatever.
Okay.
And she was like, yeah, your first circle of influence. I was like, but what happens when your first circle of influence dries out? The second one, you're gonna blow through them a lot. Not everybody's gonna say they want, whatever. Like she's trying to convince me to get on because if I get on and she makes money off of me as well,
Yeah.
one of those things. And I was like, so when that dries up, then what? I was like, I hold the door for somebody open at the gas station, like, here you go. And they're like, oh, thanks, no problem. Hey, do you have life insurance? And they're like, I'm just here to put $10 cash because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
Yeah, but do you have life insurance? I don't feel comfortable discussing that with you. Well, there goes my third circle of influence. Anyway, and so she's like, so you don't want to do this? I was like, I just want something consistent, and I don't think this is it, Chief.
I'm sorry, but back to Patricia.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go back to that guy.
No, I'm done with him.
Where he got kicked out of a Starbucks.
Oh, yeah, he was... I'm glad you brought that up.
He caused a stink
This
because there was a guy that worked at
worked-
NASA there, right?
Yes. It's like, just leave the guy alone.
But it was
You are-
because I was out of context. Right? He just walked up to him and said,
He
do
just
you
walked
hate
up to this guy
America?
at Starbucks, yeah. Do you hate America? It's like, leave the guy
Yeah,
alone.
the dude's probably like, "What the fuck
No,
is
he
happening?
did.
What do
He
you
was
mean
like,
I hate
what
America?"
do you mean? Like, why are you saying that to me? And put your dick away.
This guy is such an asshole.
That's why he got kicked out of
I
Starbucks.
hate
I want to
him.
know. I was so confused because that happened so fast as he was telling the story and as they were showing the video what happened.
Yeah.
I wanted to know how he knew he worked at NASA. I was like, if somebody is in front of me at Starbucks, I don't know you. Like, I don't. Well,
He probably parked at the NASA Starbucks
and he
I
assumed,
mean,
was scouting victims.
I mean, we didn't see if the guy was wearing a NASA jacket. I don't know
No,
if people
they-
who work for
they blurred him
NASA
out.
wear a NASA jacket. I don't know. Like maybe he was wearing a badge around his neck that said, "I work at NASA." This is
I
on my
don't think
lunch
they're
break.
allowed to do that. Or most people there are like, I don't want to get asked questions,
Yeah.
especially now with all these flat earthers
Ty.
with their dicks out.
Okay. So Sarah, did you have a problem with Patricia?
A little bit, but a little bit later.
Oh,
She
I
okay.
had
thought she was
cats.
very pretty.
Yeah. There was something alluring about her. She had really pretty hair.
She was a natural, beautiful redhead.
Yeah.
I looked at her and didn't trust her, so I couldn't. I stopped.
Hey, that's
My-
totally fair.
the male part of me stopped as soon as I didn't trust her. I was like,
Dang.
oh, careful, caution.
It's because she's a redhead. Don't stereotype.
Maybe.
No.
Maybe, but I don't. I like redheads. I don't mind redhead.
My mommy's a
redhead.
natural redhead.
I don't
You
mind
trust
a
her.
redhead.
Oh, okay. All right. So what was it that as the story went on about Patricia that you just didn't get a good vibe off of her?
It was something, not towards the very end, but where, shoot, she said, okay, so she also didn't believe that planes hit the buildings in 9/11. She
Oh,
says,
yeah.
if I'm not there to see it, then like it can't be proven to me or something like that. So she literally wants it to happen to her for her to believe it.
Yeah.
That's true. She did, that also was like a 2-second thing, like a quick glimpse at who she is. She was like, and also planes didn't hit those buildings. But that was quick. It was just like thrown in there, and I was like,
Yeah, and I remember looking at Sarah and I said something to the effect of, wait, we have video footage of planes hitting those buildings. What did she think it was? Did she think it was altered in the moment live?
I didn't get to
And
go
then-
through all of what happened on 9/11, but some of the conspiracies are that they looked like planes to us, but they were just like torpedo/missiles.
Uh-huh.
I should say missiles. Torpedoes would be underwater, and they were dressed as planes. So the actual commercial planes were actually landed, and then they killed everybody. Once they landed, they killed them, and then those missiles went out, and they were dressed as planes to make it look like those were the airliners. So
Then
there's
why not just remote control the airplane into the building and save all that trouble
They-
of
they-
dressing an actual missile?
They
So it looked
they
like-
did, but they had to make it look like a hijacking. Otherwise, it'd just be like, oh, well, then where
No,
did these planes
because
come
honey,
from?
it was a real hijacking. There's
Well,
no
I know
conspiracy
that,
about
but
it.
like it just seems like
That's so much work to do the
it does. It seems like it's a lot of extra work when you could just be like, can't we just remote control the goddamn plane? Anyway,
Because this woman did not believe anything unless it happened to her.
huh?
So I'm sorry, flat Earth did not happen to you. So why do you believe it so much?
There's inconsistencies within the inconsistencies.
A bit.
And you're stop telling, dude. Right now, when you said remote control the planes or the
Yeah.
whatever, I'm like, we believe in that, but then there's no camera footage of the Pentagon.
Okay, get
I'm
off.
trying-
Oh my god.
I didn't catch the name of the guy. This guy in this documentary was actually. He seemed like a really cool, down to earth guy. He's the one that actually made.
Yes.
I thought they were clocks at first, but no, they were like not diagrams.
Was
but-
this guy's name also
Dioramas?
Matt Pius or something? I think it was another M name. I was like, these are starting to run together. But his last name was cool. It was like Pius.
Yeah, he seemed like a really cool guy because he was really good at making things, and
He
it was
was
really
very
it was
smart.
neat to watch him make one of these things out of the
Probably
plastic
the
and the
best
wood.
thing about the movie.
And
Or
then he
documentary.
goes and makes like a green, eco-friendly motorcycle, which looked
beautiful.
fucking cool. And then when it hauled ass, it was quiet.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Mm-hmm.
And
Take that, Prius.
so I appreciated that guy. And Sarah was like, he's the coolest thing about this whole documentary.
Like, I want to meet him. If anyone could remotely convince me otherwise, it'd probably be him.
He's like, no, I don't believe in this, but I make money doing this.
Dude.
This is my livelihood.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, so Patricia and Mark, they seem to, I don't know, like they did say in the documentary that they have feelings for each other, but for whatever reason they haven't crossed into romantic feelings. But yet it feels like if one pitched the idea, the other would be like, all right, let's do it.
But not Patricia. Not Patricia.
Well, for whatever reason, when she went to England or wherever she went, it was because of another romantic thing that turned out to be not only a dead end, but like
But before
Toxic.
that,
Before that, it was
Before
toxic,
that,
but
I
there were
think-
red flags.
she was leading towards Mark, and then whenever she saw the twin bed, she's like, "I'm leaving to another country."
I don't blame her for that. Sorry.
Okay, so that's what it was. Then
Mark was dumbfounded. Remember, he was like, "It's expensive to take cats. Just like, why do you have to leave?
Just get new cats."
Yeah, or get new cats." Like he was just like, "Why are you doing this?"
It's like, fuck you, it's our cats.
right, and then I was like, "Bro, she's leaving you with or without the cat. She's not staying. You
It shows
scared
you,
her the fuck."
it showed him what was more important to her. It was her cats.
Well, then it got me thinking, how much does it cost to ship a cat? Like, if we wanted to take our cat with us to Japan,
Well, it
How
would
much
go
would it
on the
cost?
plane with you, but you have to get permits and there's medical stuff involved. Like, you can't just go.
but like, who feeds the cat? You can't
There's
have
actually there is a special plane that was, or group that was created later that is specifically for animals.
okay, but
And
they
it costs
also
a lot of money.
But they also have to go through the horror of lifting off like
Yeah.
a bullet out of a gun.
Yeah.
See, that's scary. I hate
But
that.
if they're
part.
in cages, though, it's not
Well,
like.
yeah, but
can
they
you
also-
imagine if they were loose?
Yeah, but they don't. Yeah, but they don't know what's happening. They're just like, they're
And their poor
Gs.
ears are popping too.
Yeah, I mean, come on. If a human doesn't like it, what makes you think little Fluffy is gonna like it?
I like it. I don't mind it.
Okay, when you're up there, it's cool. It's getting up there that's
I
terrifying.
like the takeoff and the landing, especially like once you do land, and then
I
it starts to
hate
hit.
that.
I'm just like, whoa, like it's like a roller coaster ride.
Yeah, but I also don't like roller coasters, so that's why it's like I don't like flying. I still don't like flying, even though I've done it a couple times. Other flat Earth advocates discussed their experimental approaches to proving their theory, including hot air balloons and a laser experiment. But so they did bring up this idea of a laser experiment. That I understood what they were trying to do. All right, so they're like, we get a large plane or whatever, and we set up a laser, and we're gonna set up 3 pillars or whatever, and we're gonna carve holes in them at 5 feet. Let's say the pillar is like 8 feet tall. We're gonna carve in holes at 5 or 6 feet on all of them, and we're gonna line them up on however distance the thing is. If there's a curve to the Earth, the laser is going to be straight. The first and the third one should be slightly lower than the one in the middle, because that's what you're aiming. You're aiming just straight.
But the
And-
optical illusion shows that they're
yeah, the
aligned
optical
with
is
one
that they're
another.
all level, but in reality, the plane is subtle. So the first and third, when the laser hits, is not going to go through the hole that they drilled flush. It's just not going to scientifically happen, and they could never get the laser point to be fine enough, because by the time it got to like the first target or whatever it was, the beam was so big it took up like the whole thing, and they were like, we need to make it narrower, and he couldn't get it to be as fine as he needed it to be. So that's what happened. But then at the very end of the thing, they get the experiment that they want, and they're like, all right,
The
This is-
$20,000 thing.
it's like they're like, this is how yeah okay,
$20,000. Somebody was able to afford it. Someone's mom is rich enough.
wow. And that was something that was supposed to measure the rotation of the Earth by 15 degrees, because I don't know if it's like every hour the Earth turns 15 degrees, and then 24 you've got like the whole rotation or something like that. And so they set up this $20,000 thing, and they did the math or whatever, and then they set it, and an hour later it was a 15-degree difference.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh shit, well if the Earth is round and it's rotating, there's
Bro, when they said that, I was like,
I loved it because at the very end, the guy was looking through and he says, I can't see the light, so lift it up. And when he did, you got it through the hole. I was like,
I feel like the camera crew recording was like, I
Eat
can
it.
stop recording if you want. Like, we don't have to record this part.
no, another one was, it showed how stupid Mark was in the moment, and Patricia, when they were at Space Center, and they were wanting to do like whatever virtual thing they wanted to do.
yeah.
And he's pressing the screen to start.
Yeah.
I was like, you dipshit. The start button was right there on the armrest. And they were just bashing hard. They're like, they gave this astronaut a broken watch. They had like
Oh,
it's just
man.
this is when her prissy side came out. It's like, okay, honey, you inherited money, but you did not earn it. And so you're acting like you did. So she was saying, Space Center's so run down. Ugh. It's like, no, you just don't want to pay attention to how shit works.
And so they're looking when she said they gave him a broken watch. Okay, understand the spacesuit that was on display was an old model suit from probably the 60s or 70s.
You're not getting the prime stuff, baby.
And it's,
Just like at the museum.
yeah, like today, if you look at a spacesuit, they're big and puffy and all that stuff. That, you know, we know what we're doing. But back then, it was just like you had to hope and pray that it worked. And at that time, the spacesuit was not as robust as what it is today. And so just to think, we sent a man in space in that thing. And of course, the watch is not going to work.
Duh. Or no, she was saying it's pretty much
It's-
the strap wasn't. It was worn off or whatever.
It
It's
wasn't
like, so
Louis.
fucking
It's not a
what?
Louis Vuitton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, if the thing did come, if it was made in the 70s and it was a fabric thing that went through the rigors of being used and then retired and then put on display at a museum or something, chances are it's not going to look pristine.
That watch fucking worked in space. Okay, that's the whole point.
That's the point. Is that it worked in space.
Yeah.
Dumb bitch.
I feel like we need to get a different movie. I thought this movie was going to tell us like if the earth is flat and this is how we believe, this is how things like these are the facts about the earth being flat and how we believe the earth works. I mean the earth being round, and these are the facts on why we think the earth is round. And then here is why the flat earthers think with facts that the earth is flat.
Yeah, we
That
haven't
did
gotten
not-
facts. We got opinions.
That's not what happened. Not even. We barely got any opinions. Well, we got a lot of opinions, but we got more like about their life. We just almost need to find out where Mark keeps the condoms.
Pretty much, yeah.
There's no condoms, guys. He has a twin bed.
Word.
The culmination of the third act of this documentary featured the 2017 International Flat Earth Conference. So it was like their big convention. And I don't know if they did more after that.
That one sold out.
I mean, it looked, what, 300 people, maybe? Maybe?
I don't know what 300 really looks like with like what they were showing. I don't know.
What I mean, the seats that they laid down, it looked like they'd sold pretty much all of them.
So we're not talking about the whole convention, but we're talking about that one panel.
Yeah.
So yeah, that one panel may have had, I don't know.
Is that where the VIP tickets and all that stuff that they were talking
that's
about?
where that was.
Okay, so they didn't
So they didn't
actually
cover
show
the convention.
Okay, see, I thought that was the convention, and the VIP tickets were like front row or something. But
Mark's
I don't
like,
know.
Look at this great turnout. And it's like all 20 seats sold out.
Okay, so
It's like the neighbors, the community trying to be nice. It's like Greta came by and it's like, hey, we can't stay long, honey. I know. Okay, who's Greta? She's my neighbor. She's just here to support.
yeah, okay, so when they showed what it was like going to like these smaller gatherings, these meetings or whatever, I gotta say, it felt like it was an AA meeting.
Yeah, there was
The way it was.
when it was presented, I was like, this should have not been recorded, or do low lighting and only like put a light on somebody who stands up.
Oh no, I'm not talking about the people on stage at the
No,
convention.
I know at
Yeah.
the crowd. Like only put a light on the people asking the question. Everybody
I think he
else
was
is
talking
dark.
about the first small.
Yeah, the first one that looked like it was
the
at a
first small
restaurant
group.
or
It was so
whatever.
sparse.
Yeah.
And yeah, it did look like an AA meeting. Everyone was so spread apart. They were in their corner, like. Eh.
They're like judging each other. Oh, you believe the Earth is in a dome? We all know that we're flat and that the sky is finite. Me.
Yeah,
Infinite.
exactly.
Me.
Yeah.
You're not right.
Yeah, this was before they went to the convention.
Yeah. All right. If the opportunity ever came up, would you poke your head into the Flat Earth Convention? Like if you went to a hotel because you were going to go on a trip the next day for something, and it just so happened you needed to stay one night here, and that was night 2 of the Flat Earth Convention, would you go downstairs to be like, what's happening?
I mean,
Just to meet the electric motorcycle guy.
I would go to see if I can get some fucking facts. I want to know why the Earth is flat. Why do you believe that?
And then he walks out with one of those like mechanical things. And he's like, look at this thing.
They
Look at
gave
how
it to me.
nice
It was like 80% off.
Oh, he never said how
Wow.
much he charged, but he did say he charges quite a bit.
He puts
because,
a lot of work into it.
yeah, and I wanted him to say how much they were, and some of them were huge.
But if I get it 80% off, $3,000's pretty cheap.
Like one guy had a coffee table of it.
That was cool.
Yeah,
Was that Mark?
that was Mark.
Yeah,
Because he had a little one that he first got,
yeah,
and then he had that coffee table.
yeah, which was upstairs at his mom's house.
Yes.
Presumably.
Yeah.
We
I
don't know.
I want this eBay, this guy's eBay account. I want it. I want that coffee table.
IMDb gave this movie a 6.5 out of 10. And Rotten Tomatoes has it scored at an 89%. FilmThreat.com wrote, quote, "The best way to describe Behind the Curve is empathetic. While I believe they're wrong about all of this on so many levels, I do believe they have the right to be heard, and I owe them the respect to listen to what they have to say. In the end, don't be afraid to sip a little bit of the Kool-Aid, because it was entertaining."
That's a quote. Sip a little bit of the Kool-Aid.
Don't be afraid to sip a little bit of the Kool-Aid.
Wow.
But they did say in the same quote that they do believe that they are wrong on many levels. I still don't think the world is flat. I never did think the world is flat. I believe
It didn't convince any of us.
They did show pictures of the world. They're like, this is what it looks like from space. But of course, you're looking at it. You would literally have to be in a satellite and go all the way around to prove to these people that this is a globe and not a flat surface.
Do you think that's how they feel about Mars too? Even though we got those spectacular pictures, and now Jupiter.
It would be cheaper, Sarah, to prove that they have a fake. It's cheaper to make a fake space.
So they believe all planets are flat then?
You
not
know,
just Earth?
They never did address that, did they?
Yeah, because they want to feel fucking special. Sorry.
Yeah, okay, so we have seen pictures that were sarcastic, online, of our solar system. All the planets, all 9 of them, or whatever, are round, and then you get to Earth, and it's
flat.
And it's flat with a dome on it.
What makes us so special?
And then, of course, Manuel had raised the question, if the Earth is flat and it's in a dome, and, all this sort of stuff, that's what, from the beginning of man? Who would have built such a thing?
Who did this to
And
us?
what is the purpose of then setting the start button on man to go through all of existence like this? Like, you would have had some sort of technology. It would have been alien. Aliens would
They
have had
have
to
to
build
believe
this.
in aliens then.
Yeah.
They have to.
Because there's absolutely no way that
You
humans...
ask them, do you believe in aliens? They're like, no, are you crazy?
God.
And you're just like, I'm trying to help you. And I'm thinking backwards. So, okay, wait a minute. Aliens built the dome. Earth is flat, or whatever. Does that mean that it was always like this? From the day that the dinosaurs... the dinosaurs weren't real.
Nope.
Never mind. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say, what about the asteroid
Well,
that came
according to
and
that one
The
guy.
dino what?
According to that one guy.
If we live in a dome, obviously there are objects that come into our atmosphere because there are cases of small asteroids or meteors coming in and hitting the water or hitting mountains or whatever. They never addressed any of these questions of anything.
The ones, because they didn't say that there was a dome for sure, but there's some people that it's flat with a dome, and then there's flat, no dome. But I guess the people that do believe in the dome, they would have to answer to those questions. Like, so where does that come from? What do you guys think of, And they're like, well, no, I don't know. They go out there and they wash it with Rain-X. So they remove all the bug splatters as we travel through space.
Are y'all familiar with the book Under the Dome by Stephen King?
I saw the show.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
How far did you get?
I think I finished season 1.
Yeah, there's like 3 seasons out of that.
Yeah. It was only supposed to be a limited series.
Yeah, and I remember questioning, how are they even going to make that book into a series? But I was like, okay, they can make it into 13 episodes. And then they did a season 2, and I thought, okay, no.
Right.
I don't know how you could possibly... Anyway, in the book, at the very end, it is revealed that it was aliens that put a dome over an entire small town. I
Like
can't
in
remember...
The Simpsons?
Yeah, kind of. I can't remember how long it has been. I was working at Walmart pushing carts, so it was a long time ago. I can't remember how long the town was in the dome, but it started to become a thing of pollution was starting to gather at the top of the dome because obviously it has nowhere to go. Air was able to get in, but stuff wasn't able to get out, like pollution. It was alien, so it didn't matter. At some point, the pollution is going to be too much, and we could possibly die from it, even though we're still getting oxygen
Yeah,
or
CO2,
something. Yeah.
right?
And okay, so now I wonder if it is a dome, are there people way, way up there that are cleaning it or something? Because the pollution has to go somewhere.
With Rain-X.
With Rain-X, okay. But what about before that? All the way back to early man, when the dome was first directed by aliens.
I think it was like when we were kids and our mommy and daddy cleaned us, and then eventually we were able to wipe our own ass. So once the aliens saw that we were able to wipe our own ass,
Yeah.
they stopped wiping it for us.
Okay. All right. Well, Manuel, always coming with the hard answers. I like that. I like that a lot. Sarah, is there anything else that you want to add to this flat Earth theory?
Facts.
Are you a believer at all?
No. But, okay, so I know I'm coming off a bit harsh just because it's ridiculous, but
It's
some...
a bad documentary.
Yeah, no. But some would probably think that about me when I say I believe in the paranormal. But I feel like we have what I feel is a bit more concrete evidence that can prove otherwise. I'm not saying orbs,
Yeah.
but EMF readings and EVPs. I feel like that's a good start. And then anything else abnormal you catch on camera in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, what you see visually with your own eyes.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
yeah, a lot of people probably think I'm weird, and that's okay.
yeah, Patricia felt the only way that she could believe in something is if it happened to her. And there are people out there that kind of are on the fence about paranormal, but once they see it, they'll be like, I'm in.
Right.
But if they never do, they'll be like, well, I mean, it's a cool thing to flirt with because, ooh, that was spooky. Did you hear that? Ooh, that was spooky.
Or like atheists, they can't believe in anything that's spiritual in any way because they don't believe in that.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah.
And then, so like I practice Reiki and I believe in Reiki, but people are, of course, they'll say, what's Reiki? Then you say, oh, it's a Japanese practice of energy work, of energy healing. I'll be like, oh, no, that's weird. So I totally get it being different and weird and believing in something, but
Yeah.
just come on.
Yeah, we all have those things that we believe in.
This is America.
Yeah. Before we go, a girl swapped family portraits with crayon drawings and nobody noticed. Kristen Vogler has been very bored during this coronavirus lockdown, and she pulled a hilarious prank on her family that lasted 11 days.
What kind of prank?
She started replacing family photos in their home with crayon drawings to see how long it would take before someone noticed. She got her inspiration from social media after she saw someone replace their family pictures with pictures of Nicolas Cage, and she thought that was hilarious. Kristen would draw her pictures while her family were out on their daily walks, and she was shocked to see that the prank lasted so long.
Nice.
I'm sure she drew some during dinner at a restaurant on top of the menu.
Well, I think Patricia was at least in high school, is the impression that I got from this.
Really? Because she's still drawing with crayons.
Hey, don't judge. Crayons come in pencils.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, if I was going to pull a prank like that, I would want to be as authentic as possible and draw in crayon because I think it would be funnier. Because if I'm going to draw something like this to replace family pictures just to see who notice, I'm not going to put a lot of effort into it. I'm going to get crayons and I'm going to draw horrible figures with big heads, with shitty looking smiles and blah, blah, blah.
I would notice. I mean, come on.
I mean, would you? Mm-hmm. She claimed that she had family come in from the front door and there's like 3 pictures. She replaced one of them with like a crayon drawing.
Nick
and they
would not notice.
And they would look at them like daily because they're just pictures that you have and
Yeah.
whatever. And she would be like, you literally just hung your coat, looked at the wall, and the picture was in front of your face. You didn't
I
see
wouldn't
it.
notice it either. I'll be honest. I wouldn't.
If it was crayon, I'm inclined to say I would notice.
Yeah, but
But if it's another picture, then no.
yeah. So if someone had replaced all the pictures or some of the pictures with Nicolas Cage,
Yeah,
would you-
I probably wouldn't notice because it's a picture. I'm like, oh, whatever.
like we have a cluster on that wall over there. If I replace 2 of those with Nicolas Cage, would Sarah notice?
Nope.
I don't know.
But just like you're not you. It's you as Nicolas Cage.
Oh, so it's me with like
No. It's actually Nicolas Cage, but it's replacing you. But
Yeah.
it's still like if it's a picture with you and Sarah, like hugging or something. Nicolas Cage is hugging Sarah.
Oh yeah, I would totally try to Photoshop like Nicolas Cage going like, huh? And he's like,
He's got the map or something on his right hand.
we're gonna steal the Statue of Liberty. That's what we're gonna do. All right, so next week we are gonna talk about urban legends, and I think Sarah, you had teased a week ago or something that there was a Japanese urban legend that involved bugs,
It wasn't Japanese, no.
Oh, it wasn't?
But it did involve,
some sort of bugs at night.
I want to say it was a woman from Asia.
Yeah.
I can't remember now because it's on a podcast.
Okay.
But the title was called In One Ear and Out the Other.
Okay.
And of course, we hear that and say it all the time when we're not paying attention.
Yeah,
we're not listening.
It happens all the time when Sarah starts talking to me about like numbers or going to the grocery store, and I'm just like, wait, what?
Those are exactly right.
And also we are obviously we're going to discuss several urban legends that we didn't talk about before. And at the end of that podcast, we are going to review Urban Legends Final Cut, which is the second installment of the Urban Legends trilogy, the third one being about Bloody Mary. And that's what we're going to do. It should be a fun episode, and we'll see what we can discuss about that.
No, but there's a real life experience that I'd like to share regarding Sasquatch / Bigfoot or the other human that we don't know about.
Dang. Okay, let me mark that
Yeah,
down.
why does that mythological creature have two names? Or are they technically different?
I think it's the same, but I'm not sure.
So we'll go ahead and do that. Is there anything else you guys want to cover before we go?
The rest of 9/11, guys.
Oh, wow.
Hoy.
Flash forward 3 hours. Oh, God, I'm going to have to cut all of this.
And that's not all, guys.
And then we bring in the wizards. Okay, we're done.
Hold on, wait.
I cut him off in mid-sentence. We'll talk urban legends next week here on the show. And until then, his name is Manuel, my name is Nick, and her name was Sarah. Bye.